It's the Solar One Sci-Fi Podcast.
Hello, this is episode 203 of the Solar One Sci-Fi Podcast. I'm Michael Ball, back after a week's delay. Sorry for last week, but we just had a few things on, as things happen from time to time. I'm joined by my regular co-hosts. First of all, in cold, rainy London, is Martin Fowler. Hello, Martin. And also in cold, rainy London is Malcolm Patterson. How are you both doing, guys? Are you all right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, we were just talking before we hit record about Blake 7, and I'm still plodding through it slowly. I'm enjoying it. It's definitely a good show. I wish I can't. Most series we talk about, I've watched for years and have a good long-term background knowledge about them. But this one, like I said, I've only got vague memories of it, but it's all coming back slowly. And you two,
we've been telling you for 2 years to watch it.
No, 5 years in your case.
5 years.
Now you've been doing lots of chats as well about the remastered Blake 7 Series 1. I've heard mixed opinions from, especially from Malcolm, with some of the things he likes and some. Have you both checked it out now? Are you happy with it?
Yeah, I've completed it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all happy with it. I just did this. The updated special effects haven't really grabbed me. It's all they've done really is tar up the spaceships and some of the effects that were ropey. They probably should have dealt with. But I am mindful that the cost was a thing with them. They didn't think this would return on investment. That's why they took them so long to do it. I understand that they didn't go balls out on it. Maybe they will on season 2 if the sales of this have been phenomenal.
I mean, do you remember the DVDs? The intro on the DVDs with the Liberator flying.
Yeah.
It was just above that level, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know that you were season 2 where it's being pursued by Federation pursuit ships.
Yeah.
And it shows it was like the next level up. I agree with you. I was bloody annoyed about the robot. They could have done something with that.
Yeah, they had to do something.
Really annoyed me that. I read that because as I read that episode came up as I was reading it on my phone and robot pops up and I thought, yeah, he's right.
With his flailing arms.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, do something decent. But it was very bright. It was well cleaned up.
Yeah.
But when they went on the Liberator, they could have cleaned the floor, couldn't they?
Yeah.
It's full of dust on the floor.
Oddly enough, the film areas don't seem to be as cleaned up as the video, which is mad because I thought video couldn't be cleaned up. That was the problem, and film was the one that
because those older shows they used to film out exterior scenes with proper film, and then it was video for studio stuff. Is that right?
Yeah, basically. So someone who was working with the early stuff ages back when Doctor Who first started doing it, they said the reason that video is a problem is because it's on a magnetic tape, so you can't look at it. You have to run it through a machine, and as soon as you pause, as you know, a video will flicker. And that's why they couldn't ever tie it up, but they've obviously got around that now.
Yeah. Okay.
Times move on.
Well, I mean, because the other one I remember, which they spent obviously a lot more money, was the Star Trek the original series remastered with this CG effects, you know, that was a mixed bag as well. Some of the CGI, even of that, looked pretty ropey, but some of the shots, because it was mostly ships in that, wasn't it? They did do one or two. There were some green screens, backgrounds behind them in certain scenes where they did do that.
We
had more money.
Did you notice?
We did.
I remember. Did you notice when Blake's list of crimes comes up in the background, they've now added fatality of a minor. That never used to be on there, but they've added that at the bottom.
Really?
So they did, so they battered him for killing kids.
Well,
that's interesting.
If you go up and have a look, it flashes up for a brief second. Yeah.
Oh.
Bloody
Which is good because that was obviously I've seen enough to obviously be aware of that.
I did see a new Federation pursuit ship, like a bigger one than the normal ones. You know, Space Command.
Yeah, sort of orbiting
there was like a bigger one that they were like. I like the idea of the pursuit ships flying around.
Yeah.
So there was a bigger Federation cruiser then. I thought that's interesting.
Because as a ship guy, I mean, obviously the model work for the Series 1 was a bit low, a bit low key, wasn't it? It wasn't exactly the most visually impacting sort of special effects I've seen. I just keep thinking of Space 1999, which I think had better models and better exterior shots, ship scenes. I think
and a
that,
better budget. So
yeah,
season one
that
of-
is probably what it is.
Season
Yeah.
one of Blake Seven didn't even have a full budget. It was the leftover budget from
Doctor Who.
it's either Softly or Z Cars. One of them ended,
Right.
And
they
they
had what was
also
left of the budget.
they also took money out of Doctor Who to build the bridge set as well.
Mm.
Oh, did they?
Which
Yeah.
25 grand the bridge. That were a lot of money back then, I suppose. You know, I mean,
So-
the bridge set is the most impressive thing in Blake Seven. Is the bridge.
So, do you think the
Of
whole
the
series will
Libra.
eventually go through the remastering, like the first?
I think so.
Yeah.
There is a coming
So
soon
now-
on the final disc. There is a coming soon. So obviously they
Yeah,
plan
there
to.
is.
But it might be long term. You're saying it takes a long time to go through each season.
Next
I mean,
year.
they're only doing what 2 Doctor Who's a year. So
Yeah,
but
and we
yeah.
we
you're
did
right,
get.
Nick.
I think we got 3 at the beginning when it first
Yeah.
came out. We were getting 3 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, brilliant. That's good. You know, at least obviously that's finally arrived. Other news. The one thing, because obviously we had a week's gap, and I did sort of like to do a tribute at the beginning of this episode. Tony Todd has passed away.
Of
Yeah,
course.
sad. Really sad.
I was very surprised about it because I think it was Todd Slayton posted it. I can't remember. I saw it on Facebook. I woke up one morning quite early and I posted it on Facebook somewhere, and obviously put rest of it. I was quite surprised because he was only 69. I think it was 70. He would have been 70 next month. And I suppose, you know, I just thought he was younger than that. I just thought that, you know, obviously I've not seen him in many recent productions, so of course he's gotten older since then. But yeah, it's a bit of a shock. He's been in one of those actors that's obviously
Been in everything.
Candyman is probably the best thing that he's known for a specific role. But he was in Stargate, he was in Star Trek, he was in so many Platoon. I keep thinking of all these things he's been in. He's been many things.
Played a great character in an episode of Criminal Minds. A
Really?
really good character in that. Yeah.
I just thought he was
I
a
don't
really
think
good
there's- I don't
actor.
think there's anything he's done. I don't think there's anything he's done that isn't.
Every single
That's
thing
fine.
he's done. I mean, he played Worf's son. He played older Jake Sisko. He played
Yeah.
a Herodian on Voyager. You know, he played.
He was in
think he's
Babylon
gone.
5.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember
Yeah.
that one. I don't
Yeah.
remember. Okay.
He is.
Call
He is
the
what
call
people
to arms.
actually mean when they say a character actor. That's
Yeah.
what he's. A character
Yeah.
actor is not someone like Tom Cruise or Alan Rickman. A character actor is
no.
someone like Tony Todd, who predominantly does background roles of
Yeah.
varying things. And he can
Hey.
pretty much do anything. Good guy, bad guy. He can pull anything off.
Yeah, absolutely.
His voice was fantastic.
Very distinctive voice.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Absolutely. So I just wanted to say, obviously, I was sorry to hear about that. I always hate it when, you know, but the thing is, although you don't know these people, you know that when you see their performances in shows that you love and TV and films and stuff like that, it makes you kind of feel, I don't know, it's harder hitting, isn't it? When you see how good they are and what they've done in your enjoyment.
Especially when you've grown up around them as well.
Yeah, especially as someone who's been in so many genre
Yeah.
shows.
To be
and
fair,
TV shows.
we're arguably the first generation. This is what remember 2016 when it seemed like every day someone was dying because
Yeah.
we just
Yeah.
hit a generation
Yeah.
where the
That was
people we
one
grew up
year.
with-
Yeah, those
Yeah,
were
well, yeah,
loads of
Bowie.
Yeah.
There were
But we're
just
the
loads.
generation of people that started watching TV all the time and all of that. So and all of those actors are all reaching the age now where they're all going to start
Yeah.
passing away.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. We're
Yeah.
we're the first generation to really see that.
Yeah, it is. Anyway, that was obviously horrible to learn on. And of course, like I said,
I've got some news. It
Go
could
on.
be it could be sacrilege, actually.
okay. Well, we'll take this with some accommodation.
They're going to remake Forbidden Planet.
Oh,
I
I saw
saw
that.
I saw
Yeah.
that. I can't see that going well at
exactly.
all.
No, they can't.
Emma Watson from Harry Potter has something to do with it.
Oh.
Was she replaying the what's her name? Altera?
It's just.
Well, you never know in this day and age. She could be the captain of the ship.
Just
It won't be
leave it
recognizable.
alone.
Yeah.
Leave it alone.
Yeah.
Just
I mean,
leave
they
it.
keep remaking.
Leave
I
it.
mean, apparently, I heard that they're going to be doing a TV version of Harry Potter, and it's going to have
Yeah,
a
I've heard that,
diverse cast. And J.K. Rowling
wrong
has
with
gone a
that.
bit. No,
Nothing wrong
but
with
what we're saying is that in her look at him stirring his fucking label. Sorry, because of the fact that the characters that she wrote And in respect of TV series, the way that they're doing things, there's becoming a bit of a discontinuity with the material and how she'd like it portrayed on the TV version.
See, the reason I don't think that kind of stuff is true is because early on she was the first one to jump up and say in her mind Dumbledore was always gay. She just didn't bother to write it in the book.
Okay.
She was also the first one to jump up.
That.
When the stage show came out and they had a young black girl play Hermione, she was the first person to stand up and say Hermione's race is never ever mentioned in the book. She's literally described as having bushy hair and giant buck teeth. That's it. No other characteristic was ever mentioned. So it's only really people are now kicking out because of her protection of women's rights regarding transgender people.
Okay,
that's only really.
It's going to be a kind of it's already sizzling in the background, but this is going to continue to sizzle as it gets nearer to being actually physically created and made. I don't know if that actually made. Is it? Do we know if it's in pre-production or I don't know much about it. I'm not really a Harry Potter
I'm looking
fan.
forward to it. If it's closer to the books and it includes a lot more of the stuff that the films cut out of the books, I think it could be successful. But it's I mean, everybody's going to get compared with the original cast.
Are they retelling the whole saga again, but through TV now?
I think so.
I assume so. That's what I.
Okay.
7 seasons, maybe. I don't know.
Right.
Other news: Alien Earth had a very, very brief promo in the trailer. What do you think of it? It's hard to get much of an opinion. It's about 30 seconds
I didn't
long.
really see enough of it, to be fair.
No, you saw a xenomorph with the Earth reflecting on its head.
Yeah.
But about 30 seconds, and I thought, is that it?
I don't even think it was 30 seconds.
I
saw it in the mixed Disney Channel promo, so it's probably
that's what I saw.
6 seconds.
Yeah. Okay. And that promo also featured some brief footage of the new Andor season 2, which I have to admit I'm quite looking forward to. Actually,
I'm going to watch it. I'm not really looking forward to it because the last one was so devastatingly bad. But I'm hoping.
But most people really like it. Most people love Andor.
I'm hoping that this one will go more and we'll see more of and I forget is it the Skarsgård, the shop owner, who looks like he's running it, and
he was the person.
A lot more of them.
It should have been about him. I have said he was the person that had me locked on. Andor's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, you will never get anyone to care about him.
Fucking idiot. How can
You'll never get anyone to care about him because we know he doesn't die. We know he's going to make it.
I know, but how can he forge a rebel alliance? It was the other guy that owned the shop. It should have been about him.
He's going to get.
Andor never did though. He was just one of their guys. He never formed anything.
Yeah, but he's meant to be the big defining unification.
Because with the other one, he got the map to where it's supposed to go. That's his role.
Yeah.
He never said he started it. He just stole the plans.
Yeah, but he dies in Rogue One anyway, so it's pointless doing it about him.
Yeah.
So do you think it's a bit odd, sort of like doing this sort of prequel when we know how it's all going to end with them, all the people dying in the actual movie and things like that? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's very critically acclaimed.
I thought, it's great. So you get a wider look into the Star Wars universe. You get to see that, and I loved it for that. I really did.
Rogue One was really good, though. Rogue One was really good.
Yeah. And I thought Andor were okay, and my favourite character is Cyril and his mother.
You hate Cyril and his mother.
I know I do, but I like him now.
Why?
But my guess is if Andor goes the distance, it's going to end up with it's going to finish where he's at the beginning of Rogue One, where he's
I think that's what they're going to do.
I think that's where they're going to end it.
Yeah. Because I think Cyril and his mother are secret Sith Lords.
Darth Cyril?
Yeah, and his mother, she's like his master and he's the apprentice. But they're not very good Sith Lords. And they've got a 4-inch television which they watch. So there you go.
Like CRT monitor.
Did you see that telly?
It was something that I was thinking the other day. It's something I was thinking the other day of how writers were better before than they are now. Because obviously you need to expand a story. You need something better. But Cyril's sitting having a conversation with his mum over pink milk. Shit writing. There is no need for it. It doesn't advance anything. It doesn't help anything. Now, I went back and I was watching the pilot of Deep Space Nine. Now, one of the first things they did in Deep Space Nine is they had the guy pissed off with Picard. So they made Picard look a right wanker.
That was a real shock.
But then they also had to come back later on and turn that around. So they add a beautiful little scene, a brilliant little scene of O'Brien leaving the Enterprise, going up, looking for the captain. He doesn't want to disturb him. He goes down, and Picard runs in at the last minute into the transporter room and just like says goodbye. And it was just a beautifully sweet moment. It didn't add anything to the TV series, but there was so much in that one moment. That was fucking decent writing. When writers can do that and add that into a show, then there was something.
You can't compare Deep Space Nine to Andor. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but Cyril's going to end up getting her in bed.
They're going to start. They're going to be shagging. They're going to be shagging.
Cyril's going to be like a new man. He's going to be like a new man. He'll
sacrifice
himself for her. Yeah, he's going to grow up. That's why at the moment I'm supporting Cyril.
Yeah, there was Ironheart mentioned as well on that little thing, and again, I'm thinking like Miss Marvel. That's probably going to be for the kids, but I did like the look of the suit. I arguably need to go back and watch Black Panther Wakanda again because isn't she introduced?
I've not seen that for a long time,
but I don't really want to watch it a second time. But I do want to see the scenes with her and again. The girl that invents that new suit, the one who's going to be Ironheart. So fingers crossed. If it's just for kids, good luck to them. If they've done it more adult orientated and they do it well,
I watched Dagger, I finished it last week, and I didn't mind it.
I can't get into that.
I didn't mind it. Thought the final episode paid off quite well.
Okay.
I'm probably going to get shot down for that. I quite enjoyed it.
I've not seen it. I mean, this is a Marvel show, obviously, isn't it? I've not seen any Marvel stuff for ages.
I wanted to ask you, have you watched that series where they all live in a bunker?
Silo.
Have you seen the first episode then?
Not of season 2. I've seen because Malcolm told me. Well, no, I was told that it's going to be. I thought it was going to be released all at once.
Yeah, it's an episode a week, so I'm
going to wait. I'm going to wait. Yeah, otherwise I would have watched it. I loved it.
So nobody knows what happened then.
No, I'm going to wait until I've got a few more episodes.
I've got a rough idea because I know kind of what happens in the second book. So I've got a rough idea of what happened outside, but nothing more than that. Just have you guys watched Severance?
Is that when he's traveling dimensions or something?
Nope.
I've heard of it.
He is basically. I don't want to tell you too much because it's better if you go in blind. But it's basically a corporation where, when you join, they split your mind.
Oh,
so when you turn to work, you go down this elevator and your mind flips and you become the employee and you do your work. And then as you leave, your mind flips the other way and you go home and do stuff.
Yeah.
So basically, there's a version of you that does nothing but sit at home all day partying hard, and then there's a version of you who does nothing but leave work.
Yeah,
That's after about 4 or 5 years. A second season of that is just coming out, but the first season's really good. Okay. It's a very original idea. I would definitely.
I like that sound. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's just called Severance.
Severance. All right, sounds good. Brilliant. Anything else? Any news wise? Could think of?
I don't think so.
2 weeks until the new Star Wars series. What's it called? Skeleton Crew. Goonies in space. Not really bothered about that.
Which version of Prodigy?
Oh, what's that about Prodigy? What did you say?
Which the Skeleton Crew? It's just
yeah. I heard that. Somebody else said that. Apparently, that it's got parallels with that. I've seen a few of the Lower Deck season 5 of Star Trek. Because I might as well finish.
I had another go at trying to get through season 1 the other day, and I just can't. It's just.
Do you know what? I just don't.
I like the references, but it's just not funny.
No,
it's odd because it's the same people that write Rick and Morty.
No,
I don't find it funny. It's not making me laugh. I don't laugh.
I sit there and I just switch it off.
Why is it not funny? What is it? I mean, I like The Simpsons. What is it?
I've tried. I can't.
I've never.
If you're in any way a sci-fi fan, if there's any part of you that's into sci-fi, Rick and Morty is the greatest show ever made. It is so funny. It is so cleverly done, and they're the guys that write Lower Decks. So why is Lower Decks so?
Because it's just not funny. It just doesn't click with me. And like people say, "Oh, you should watch it because it's Star Trek," and but it just doesn't.
I think it's because we've seen so much live action Star Trek. That's what we're conditioned to.
Yeah. It might be.
Somebody also said to me, if you get to the second season and beyond, they make a lot more references to like stuff you know of, and it does get slightly funnier then.
I don't think it does. I've seen them all. I can't remember. I can remember about 5 episodes of the whole series. And there's a good episode where they go to DS9. There's some nice crossovers there. I quite like that one. But most of it's like I can't remember it, and it's like I don't know what it is because I like comedy and I like Star Trek, but this doesn't work.
Isn't one of the characters Chris somebody? Isn't that Rebecca Romaine's husband?
Yeah, the guy
I
that was in
think so,
Sliders. He played Quinn
Yeah.
Mallory in Sliders.
Yeah,
He's the
that's
voice of the
Rebecca Mays
commander.
husband,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. And
Because I think there's an episode where one of them opens the locker and there's a picture of her because from the old days, and he makes a comment about it or something.
yeah. I think I remember that scene. Yeah, like I said, it's not very funny. All right. So anything else before we go into our pokes of the week?
No, I'm all good. I did. I've not been doing
Go on.
sci-fi. I've been sitting binging Grey's Anatomy, so that's how I've been spending my days at work.
I'm trying to think what I've been watching apart from Blake Seven. What I've been trying to watch. Oh, I want to see.
I just completed Halo season 1 and 2. I finished.
I've not done season 2. I've not done season 2.
I
got to final episode. No spoilers, but I got to the final thing of it last night, and I thought, I know they all said season 2 were crap, but I thought, bloody hell, can't we at least get a season 3? It's
they
very
said season
good.
1 was crap, to be fair.
I enjoyed it.
Once I knew it was cancelled, my impetus to watch it just sort of diminished. Once I know they've cancelled it, I don't really see the point.
Season 2's worth a look.
Okay, I'll give it a look.
But it's such a shame because season 3, I think, would have cracked it. Do you know what I mean? It really is a shame. And I of course, you got the cliffhanger, and you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, there's no more.
I've still got to watch.
It's a shame. It's a shame.
I've still got to watch the 12 Monkeys TV series.
I've not
I've never seen. You know, I can barely remember what the
good.
film was about. I've never seen the series, and I can't remember what the film was about.
I saw the film. I mean, if I watch it, I'd watch the film again first, and then I'll go into the TV series. And
again, your shock at the fact that they've already been 2 attempts at doing TV series.
Yeah, and of course, I still need to see the new Dune series as well, which is just.
Have you not seen that? You say I've got issues with you.
What's that?
Because I'm sick to death of them remaking the same film.
Yeah, we talked about this on the group.
So this is apparently the original film. I've never read the books, but the original film destroys the books so much that you had to remake it. You had to remake it. Apparently that flying guy with the heart things and all that. Apparently he's either not in the book, or that's nothing like his character. Something like that. A lot of people are really annoyed with the first film.
The thing is, well, you see, Sci-Fi did a miniseries on 2 of the books. And that's where I am. I want the 3rd book. I've not watched part 2 at the new one yet. I can't bothered with it. I'd set it up on Sunday night. When I got in, I thought I'm going to watch it tonight. And I just went straight to Halo. I thought I can't be asked for that. I don't, because I know
you've got to get in the right mindset to watch it. You've got to get in the right.
I know what's going to happen. I want the 3rd book. I don't care about all this. But that's me.
Yeah. I mean, I started trying to read the prequel books, which are and they're set 1,000 odd years before Dune even is, something like that, maybe even longer than that. And I just couldn't get into them. It was all robots and stuff like that, and it really didn't grip me.
Malcolm, have you seen Foundation yet?
Oh. No. I got to about episode 4, about episode 4, and I just started to lose interest.
You've got to. The thing is, season 2 is amazing.
No, I started season 2, and I gave it after about episode 3.
You've got to.
I know. I keep wanting to. I know.
Because you get the payoff,
I know.
and you get to see the big.
I just got a bit bored with it. I got a bit bored with season 2.
It is sad. I admit it is. Because you're thinking it's same family, and it's not. They're all clones out there.
Yeah, I know.
I know
that tends to slip, doesn't it?
I know my uncle years ago said that the Foundation books are easily the best science fiction books ever written. So I don't know. Maybe the books would be better for me than the TV series.
Well, they're about 80% accurate at books to a point, but they have gone off track quite a lot.
Well, listen, guys, let's get into our topic. So otherwise, we're going to do a short one tonight. But yeah, I mean, definitely check out Foundation, Malcolm. I will watch season 2. We did review season 1, but I just can't be asked to get around to doing it at the moment. So anyway, let's go to our focus of the week. Here we go, guys.
It's the Solar Sci-Fi Focus of the Week.
All right, so this is a film which is actually a South African film, which is not a place where you actually get a lot of movies in the science fiction genre. And that, of course, was District 9, which I remember. I'm actually just getting the details, which I should have been doing one before I actually started talking about it. So while I get some info up, what did you both think of District 9? Let's ask you first, Malcolm.
It's genius. I love the film. It's absolute genius. Everything about the film is brilliant. The idea that an alien spaceship won't actually go to America but goes somewhere else in the world, brilliant. The fact it's done pseudo documentary style. The guy himself, Sharto Copley, how excited he is to be given this task of this moving the people and all that, and he's into it. The brutal bit where he's laughing with it gives him a bit. He goes, there's your first alien abortion, and gives the guy the bit, and then in the background you see the hat and all that. But the fact that in the shanty town, the warlord's there and doesn't give a fuck about all these guys. They're terrified of him walking past. Everything about that film is absolutely genius. It is definitely one of the best films ever made. It is superb.
Brilliant. So, Martin, let's ask you next. What do you think about it?
I love District 9, and I would have liked a sequel, District 10.
I was wondering about that,
And we got Elysium instead, and it reminded me of Alien Nation.
I was going to say that. I was going to say Alien Nation.
Just the film, not the set of the film with James Cameron. It reminded me of that so much. And District 9, I found it opened things up. It opened a massive universe, because who were they fleeing from? The refugees.
Yeah.
And that's what fascinates me. It's a great film when he becomes one of them.
Well, that reminded me of The Fly a bit. For some reason, when he started to transform very slowly, I like the fact that this film reminded me a bit of, although it's unique in its own identity, I was reminded of things like Alien Nation, as you said, a bit of The Fly as well. I like the fact that, when he was transforming, he could now use alien weapons, which gave him a sort of power. And in the end, his whole life is just slowly going out of control, and he's losing his, he can't go and see his wife, and he's being chased down. And it was, it did give a lot of questions and not all the answers. I mean, there's a lot of interpretation at the end about, what's going to happen, whether, who are they, as you say, Martin, who are they escaping from, whether they're going to come back, or,
And he took the ship detached from the mothership, went off.
Yeah.
Where's he gone? Yeah. And we never got a sequel. I loved District 9.
Yeah. I don't know if it was even going up for, because obviously the point of the film is like racism and apartheid.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And then the part of where he becomes one is just their way of saying, if you start to look at the other person's point of view, if you start to do it, much as Malcolm X did, he travelled to South Africa with a certain mindset, but once he started talking to white South Africans, he began to believe that he was wrong or misled on certain points, and began to change his mind. He began to see it slightly differently, and it's that kind of
perspective.
Yeah, that's it. So that was the Sharto Copley character becoming one of them, was that kind of move, and they even turn against him. His own people turn against him massively once he's done it, which again is why I love the documentary style, because at the beginning you see it kicking off, but it's also cutting in with bits like his wife, so something goes fucking wrong with him, because even right from the very beginning, the first sort of interspersed interview scenes, something goes tits up with him because of the way she's talking and all that. The film's genius. It's just so well done.
I have to say, the political message, that is how you write science fiction.
Yep.
Often the best science fiction does have political...
Because the message, it's not being patronising, it's in there, it's telling you, and they're using that. And it's doing it beautifully. It's an amazing film. It really is, and that's how you write quality science fiction.
So, I mean, do you know how well it was received? Was it critically acclaimed? I mean, obviously all three of us really enjoy it. Anybody have any other ideas about how it did? I'm just looking.
I'm not too sure, because at the time this came out, I wasn't really big on cinema films. I was, much like I am now, too busy watching stuff from the past. So it was kind of popular before I even knew it existed, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I don't know how I came across it actually.
I think I bought it on DVD. I'd not seen it at cinema. I got it on DVD.
I think I've got it on
Somebody
DVD.
said, somebody I knew had seen it and said, you need to watch this.
Yeah.
So I bought it from HMV and I watched it and I thought, this is amazing. You know, and that was it. Because one, the two other one, Elysium. I think Elysium came next.
Elysium,
And
yeah. I've still
seen,
not seen that one yet.
I've not seen Chappie. But
I'm going to watch Chappie. I'm going to watch
I
that.
mistake Chappie for the one with Wolverine in the robot boxing thing. That's
Oh
not it.
yeah,
Yeah. I keep mistaking
Steel
them. That's
something,
it.
Steel,
Yeah,
Steel.
yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen that, but yeah, something like that. Steel
Very good.
Justice, Steel Dawn, Steel
So I'm
Raw
looking
Steel,
forward.
maybe.
I'm looking forward to watching Chappie now. But District 9 is a great film. I mean, it's just. I gave it a watch over at weekend, and
I
you
did
know,
as
I
well. I gave it a
absolutely
rewatch as well.
loved it.
Yeah.
It's very clever, and yeah, I think it was an independent movie as well.
Well, I was
don't
just
think
looking. I was looking at the budget. Apparently, in the US dollars, it will actually cost 30 million to make, estimated.
That's quite
That's
substantial.
not much.
Open
not much for a
weekend.
film.
No, opening weekend it got $37 million, and gross US and Canada was 115 million.
Oh, bloody
Worldwide,
hell.
worldwide it got $210 million.
Well, why would there no sequel?
I don't know. This is what I was about to ask you both. I mean,
I don't think the film is geared up for a sequel. To be fair, I think
that's
the
why.
message is done,
That's
and
what
they've
I was
moved on.
wondering, whether it's no need. Maybe that's it. That's the story.
Yeah.
That's done. There doesn't need to be.
Do,
But
do,
I don't know.
do you think a sequel could damage it? Do you think the sequel
Possibly.
would probably be like
possibly,
some
yeah.
big $150
definitely,
million
definitely.
production?
Maybe the people were intelligent enough to say, "Look,
Well,
we've
you
done
might
good
be
here.
right.
We don't want to.
Yeah.
We don't want to taint it. We don't want to spoil the original." Which happens so often with these.
It could work. It could work as a series, though.
I could see a TV variation.
Yeah,
I could see a TV series of it.
Yeah.
I would certainly watch it.
I'd
but-
give it a go. Yeah.
You know, I mean, obviously, I'm not that familiar with a lot of South African actors, so I didn't know any of the actors in this show, in this film. But the guy that played the guy that, sorry, I don't know all the names of the characters, but the guy that got infected, and he was great. He was really good. I thought he was really good.
Yeah, so I only really know him from this Chappie and the A-Team. That's the only thing I really know he's been in.
Okay, well, he was very good
Oh.
in this. I thought the special effects were done very well. The prawns, as they were called, were quite well remastered. Well, not remastered, mastered in CGI, which of course was quite a while back, but it still looks pretty good to watch. The ship, the alien ship, creepy as it's hanging in the sky over Joburg, as you say, that the style, the way they did it, like a documentary kind of thing, and chopping from scenes, it was certainly unique. And I always remember the very, very last scene where he was a prawn at the end. He was literally just changed into an alien, and that was the last scene, I think, of the film. And it's like when I watched it at first, I didn't know it was him. I thought it was just another man. I thought, oh, of course it's him. You know what I mean? So yeah, absolutely. I thought it was a very, very good film. And it's just like I said, it's a shame that I don't know. It's one of those films I am personally hungry for a bit more of this universe, to see a bit more of how it went. And so as we've said, maybe that's the whole point. It did well. It was also, it was interesting to show like Johannesburg and like I said, as Malcolm already said, normally you get these films, it's always in America.
It's America,
It's
yeah.
a big UFO over New York. It's over Los Angeles. This idea of it being in a place which I'm not so familiar with really was clever. Really clever idea. So yeah, absolutely. Now, as usual, we've got the dreaded 3 minutes 30 left on Zoom. So let's ask first of all ratings. Martin, how would you rate this out of 10?
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give this a 9 actually. And would I have it in the collection? Most definitely.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go next. I would say I'd give it a 9 as well. And I would also obviously have it in the collection. Malcolm.
I would go 10. I would go 10, but Chappie is so much better. I'm going to have to go 9, because if I give this a 10, I have to give Chappie like an 11 or a 12, because it's that much better.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to check out Chappie. I'm going to, maybe not next week, soon, the next couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. Give me a chance to watch it, Malcolm. Yeah. And if Martin, have you seen it as well? I do want to see a copy of it as well.
I'd like to see Chappie, and I'd like to cover Elysium as well.
I can't watch that at the moment. Unfortunately, I haven't got a copy of that. but I'll explain why I can't watch it at the moment. But Elysium, I do want to cover in the future. But there's a reason why I can't see it. But yeah, that's one. So thank you guys for that. What are we doing next week? Any ideas?
I don't know. Something will appear by next week. So
yeah, I don't know. I have to think of something. Anything that
I'm going to see Paddington on Saturday, so we could talk about that.
Oh, Paddington.
Happily, Joe. Yeah, yeah. It was either that or Gladiators, but Paddington won. Sure.
Paddington. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Yeah. So I'm not sure what we're doing next week. I'll send you some ideas, and you can let me know what you both want to do.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we'll see you next week. I keep thinking of something else I wanted to say, but now it's gone. All right, guys. Thank you very much. We will see you next week on the Solar One Sci-Fi Podcast. Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.
Can I help? You?
You are aboard the Imperial Warbird Kazan. You're here to explain this.
Oh, the new Hallmark Star Trek keepsake magic ornament.
Pirated from the Romulan Empire.
Look up, Commander!
It lights up.
Tell us what you know.
Oh, well, the Romulan Warbird ornament is at Gold Crown stores only for a limited time. You should get yours soon.
Call 1-800-HALLMARK for the store nearest you.
You guys in town for a Star Trek convention?
They guide the way on the Solar One Sci-Fi Podcast, where sci-fi holds